Well, hello people, and welcome back to part 30 of Egginburgh House Cities Skylines 2 build. I hope you're having a wonderful day. And I'm just enjoying some focal length shots on the edge of the city here, and big, isn't it? City really snuck up, didn't it, on its size? It's got very big very quickly. And in today's episode, I actually want to head over to the opposite side of Egginburgh where we built last episode's mall over there. Thank you for all the kind comments on that build, by the way. To begin filling out this space, so I think this is really set up for some kind of mass American sprawl leading up to that skyline over here. And we've got a waterfront to play with, some pretty gnarly terrain as well. If we were to have a brief look at the terrain here, pretty nuts, so we'll have some fun with that. So let's get stuck into it, shall we? So we'll come ahead and grab our 4-lane road. So the most obvious entrance into this district is going to be down here. So let's draw out from, is that pretty much in the centre there, I think, isn't it? So let's draw out our arterial road and we will set up a new boundary because I do want to split off with some highway roads here rather than 4-lane arterial. So let's go into our highways. I want to grab the 2-lane highway. Let's snap to this side of the road, anarchy off. And then let's do that 37-meter curve by 37-meter. That seems pretty sensible, doesn't it? Let's do that on the other side as well. It's going to be 38 by 38. Yeah, you won't tell that meter difference. Rotate that around, and then let's also remove that little sound barrier from that stretch of road as well. Cool. So that'll give people access into this side of the town. This is almost like a gyratory. I think that's what they're called, isn't it? A gyratory roundabout. I'll leave a picture or example of them on screen, but we have them in the UK quite often. Sort of like oblong roundabouts with multiple slip lanes and entrances, and CS2's road tools make these really buildable. And it seems to actually be holding up traffic quite nicely. So anyway, let's get back to the road. So I'd like it to follow roughly the contour lines. So let's just go, and I guess we should probably follow that curve there, right? A little bit of a kink in the road. Now, this is going to be the end of the city, so we need to round this. Well, not the end of the city in terms of like the series, but the end of this road at least. So we'll have to find out exactly how it's going to end. I think for right now, I'm just inclined to stick a cul-de-sac on the end of it. Whether or not we bring it across these layers, again, I don't know how much of this space we're going to fill down here. I'm pretty sure this is all natural resource, isn't it? Yeah, there's big ore deposits down there. So maybe we can turn that into a tunnel at some point. A bridge is unlikely with the power lines and the current infrastructure. But also maybe some more slip lanes into the national highway road here. That does hook into this larger interchange. There's a couple of options anyway. So paying respect to the topography, I want to start with the hillside up here first. Now what I would like to do at the pinnacle of the hill is just to expand that layer. So I want to place some assets up here, in particular for the park uniques that we've yet to use. So I'd like to grab landmark, and the first one I want to grab is the botanical garden. Now if we just have this about there, we'll obviously blend those layers back in. They are pretty horrendous. Oh, that's not the right tool. Let's just make sure we don't do that. There you go. It'll give it a bit more interest around the back anyway, won't it? And then let's just soften all that out. We can do some nice detailing with trees and boulders around here. Like the botanical garden's really sat on its own kind of natural sort of podium on the landscape, if you like. So it's going to be quite a nice drive-by from this perspective, despite the fact it's incredibly dark for broad daylight. Not sure what's up with the lighting, but a real nice eye draw, right? Sat from the highway here. And its gardens and viewpoint are going to occupy quite a tremendous view just across the city here, and Firth down here to Whiskey Port over there, and you even see Egginburgh Castle and the cathedral and the university right over there in the distance. So really nice viewpoint. I'm happy with it up here, I think. So we'll enjoy that one anyway. So let's give this guy some road access, and we'll probably just have a little cute switchback pattern that comes back down into the road. So I'm happy with that there. We can make this part of our Suburban build. I also want to continue expanding this hilltop park as well. So the next sort of natural high point, now I would like it roughly on the same terrain height. So if we can grab the one that the botanical garden's on, Then I'd like to use another building here as well. This one's going to be this one here, the Nasi Noella. Am I pronouncing that right? It is an observation tower from Tampere in Finland, interestingly enough, where I will be visiting in October. It opened in 1971. The tower is located in the Sarkaniemi amusement park. I am not familiar with with these Scandinavian pronunciations. Overseeing Lake Näsijärvi. I have no idea. A revolving restaurant is located in the top of the tower, with one revolution taking 45 minutes. There we go. Very interesting. So it's essentially the baby observation tower, right? Like that's the observation tower she told you not to worry about over there in the downtown. And this is your this is your observation tower. But it is, however, quite cute. And it is going to give us some nice viewpoints across the city as well up here. People can see all the way back to Inverness over here as well, which is quite tasty, isn't it? So that should be a lot of fun. Wicked. Maybe we can actually visit this when I do go to Tampere later this year. We will make a vlog out of that, by the way, if you're interested. So let's give these guys some more road connections, and we'll just do... This is perfect point actually for a complex curve. Let's do this one. There we go. Cool. So I have those as our two features. I'm pretty happy with that, and there's plenty of space for more detailing and little park areas around here too. I wouldn't mind creating some parking for them as well, which I think we'll just go with. I don't like that there at all. Can we give that a slightly different position? Let's try bringing this up on the same level as the botanical garden itself. Might be able to do some cute little cut and fill features here also. Let's just grab that alleyway road, bring it straight alongside. And then let's see if we can plop our medium car park down. Yeah. And then let's just blend those layers back in so it doesn't look too obviously man-made. You guys not getting water and power over here? Wicked. There we go. So we put those into the services. So we'll give them a bit of a tree line as well. I don't think there's any unique assets I want to use around here. There's also this National Dietary building as well, which is huge, isn't it? Definitely won't have this here, but I would like to use this somewhere. Where this goes, though, is I mean, this belongs in the city centre, really, doesn't it? I don't know if there's a possible place in the downtown we could relocate this. Just not sure now at this point. Maybe this feels like such a centerpiece building, doesn't it? But I'm not sure where we could possibly put that, but it's very nice regardless. But besides that, there is also the Bell Tower of Jayan, which I think I want over on the hillside near the airport. Then we do have the water park too, which we might use down by the water here, alongside the bronze statue. So we could also put some regular parks up here as well. Wouldn't be against a few of them. Let's do... A large plaza does actually fit perfectly opposite, but that is a tough sell with its terrain. But we could actually just do some boxing in here, which would work with the alleyway roads using the road upgrade tools. That process becomes significantly easier if we level the land up around it. Then using the force to key upgrades on the outside of the alleyway road should give me that plinth that I want to help detail the land there. There we go. So I'll push all that down. And that should make that park settle in a little bit more. Cool. We've got a nice big tourist attraction here. We should probably think about some public transport up here as well, given the fact there's quite a few unique parks now. And I hope I like this. I just went ahead and designed that. I think it's okay, isn't it? Yeah, it's a nice extension of the botanical garden there at the front. And people can sit and enjoy this wonderful viewpoint. Might even use the Better Bulldozer mod here actually to delete the fence sub-element off of it. That way it looks like a more sort of open plaza where people can walk up there. Actually, this might have been better as pedestrian road, but I'll do that off camera, I think, if we're going to do it. Wonderful. That's turned into a nice little facility there, hasn't it? I hope to see some folks visiting. So returning to the rest of the area now. I'd like to extend some natural road hierarchy that we currently have existed. So there's a little road here. Now, can we just go straight across there? Want to maintain that 180-degree angle on the left. Be really interesting, won't it, actually, to see how the AI prefers to drive around that. Will they take the faster Hemlock Highway route? Or will they just cut straight down Florence Street? I'm actually not sure. We'll find out, won't we? And then there's another one down here where we do have some slip ramps coming off of the bridge. I wouldn't mind replicating something similar, what we've done with the ramps here, bringing down to different layers. But do we continue this as 4-lane? I think we do, because this is the big embanked road that runs along the waterfront, where there is actually already some tram action. Would we extend that tram line down here, I wonder? Let's have a little check. So currently it's a big tram line already, isn't it? This is the one. Yeah, there's only 2 tram lines here, isn't there? Such a busy hub over here, isn't it? The absolute just onslaught of people walking around this transport hub. Wonderful, isn't it? So many dogs as well, look at that. Actual dog city. This is my dream. This is what my idea of heaven looks like. Just surrounded by an absolute squadron of Labradors. Anyway, trams. We could bring the trams down here. I think we might do. So let's bring this arterial off at this roundabout. Do we want to upgrade this number now? Or is it already at this largest size? I think it is, isn't it? Yeah, it's already at the largest point. It should be okay for traffic, I think, shouldn't it? I guess we'll find out. If it starts backing up, then we know it's not. And then this one, I wouldn't mind extending, I think, simply just up to the connection where the road joins the park entrance. And let's just lob that on a curve tool. Have that go straight in like that. That expands the hierarchy now, so let's just move into a little road time lapse, because I do want quite a bit of sprawl around here. I want that low density American housing vibe for the American side of the city. So let's throw some roads together where we can get in some very basic housing frames. Wonderful. So that will allow us to get in some nice low density housing frames, which I would like to explore initially. I think we'll go with waterfront housing. Probably, I think I do prefer the North American ones. Let's get some growing around this space here. Definitely all up against this district, looking out over the water. Make sure we align these perfectly with the grid orientations. It looks like it is all snapped to this front road. Beside that little example there. So let's just put through here with a little pedestrian pathway. I believe there is zoning adjuster mod on Paradox mods now, isn't there? I think, if I'm not mistaken. But that will correct our zonings to face the right way. So these guys will all look out over the Firth and some pretty tremendous countryside views as well. You can see all the mountains of Egginburgh here. It goes very close to the water as well. They can see the more industrial port over there of Whiskey. And bridge infrastructure. It's times like this when actually I do kind of come to appreciate CS2 a little bit more in the later game, because everything's just so much chunkier. It does look a lot more kind of realistically scaled, I think, doesn't it? Everything's so much on a grander scale. And then I would like to develop a little bit of walkable space around here to bring people back down to this area over this way, because there is a little bit of a landscaped park front on this front. And I wouldn't mind actually doing some different layering here too. So let's grab our forest or our level terrain. Now I'd like to stay roughly on this sort of trajectory, so it'll look a little bit rough at first, but we will blend it in. But this will give us a really nice kind of waterfront pathway, I think. And then we can snake it up, do some nice things with props down here as well. I just want to really cut it out first of all, where I'll plan for it to flow. And I suppose I wouldn't mind it coming around here, really, because I'm not going to do anything else with this shoreline because it's so steep. It doesn't really lend itself well to anything. And then where we do approach this area here, that's where I'm going to start sloping up. Something to that effect. And then once we're happy, we can just bring a little bit of softening, and that'll make it look a little bit more naturally tiered. Same with the shoreline there too. Let's soften a little bit of it out, just so it's not as gnarly. Fantastic. Then we'll grab our pathway here. We'll just use the regular one, I think. And then let's just start it from here. And we can just have a beautiful little Riverside pathway that hopefully people will use. I'm not entirely sure what the AI's kind of criteria is for walking against a road as opposed to a pathway. Have this run all the way through. Quite a long path actually, isn't it? And then just as we approach here, let's throw in those contour lines. Would like this to be a little bit switched back here to kind of represent the height, if you like. There we go, and then it can fork off that way. That was the word fork, by the way, before anyone leaves a comment. And then it can also go up there as well. Tremendous. So that should hopefully really bring our waterfront to life, seeing people walk along the Firth shore like that. Let's also do some more sloping here as well, because I would like it to have multiple entranceways up and down here. Cool. And then just re-soften any awkwardness that makes itself known. Cool. And that should bring our waterfront to life a little bit more. I think I'll keep it quite heavily forested on the top layer, and then we can get some more intricate prop benches down here in this lower layer. You know, oh, you see the train crossing over there? How cool is that? Yes, please. Love a sightline, everyone. And that is a sightline to enjoy, isn't it? Can we see another train coming out of Inverness, hopefully in the not too distant future? Yeah, I do really like the perspective here. I think once we have that entire sprawl in as well coming up this way, this will give a really nice viewpoint to the rest of the city, won't it? With that observation tower really starting to pop there, isn't it? Especially with the botanical garden too. Hopefully there will be some visitors here. So I think bringing the tram line down is a little bit more awkward than I initially anticipated, just due to the way we've got the tram roads configured. I think we'll do buses instead, because we actually dropped in the bus upgrade on the harbour here and never ended up using it. So we've got a ton of bus opportunities. So let's throw down some stops. Let's do... You're going to come out the harbour, then you can come up the main street, and it's going to make sense for you to stop alongside our tram, isn't it? So we can converge there, then it can carry on out of town. It can come down here, straight the way through the main street. Then definitely we can't put a stop on this road, can't we? No, that's fine though. Let's just do a stop outside the botanical garden. It can turn around before rejoining the main street. And then I guess we can send it down to converge with these tram lines, can't we? So let's do that. It can stop again just before it leaves the suburb. Come across the gyratory, which I think I'm getting that right. There's going to be someone in the comments telling me it's not, I'm sure. And then we want it to arrive back at the harbour so it can stop again at the head of the central park. And then arrive back into the harbour here. So let's get that line set up. There we go. So the bus will turn around atop the park, which is fine. And then it should, yeah, come across the roundabout there. Stopping in line with multiple trams before completing its route back there. Now we should have those, yeah, we should have the buses available for that, I think. Shouldn't tell us we don't have the availability for them at the depot. Oh no, there we go. It does tell us we don't have the availability at the depot. Should have... This is an extra garage. I can get rid of some... What is this? Just... Yeah, generic office and commercial. Yeah, I think we can get rid of it. And then we'll stick another garage on there. What does that give? An extra 10 capacity. It should start coming out soon then. Yeah, there we go. There they are. Let's make this a little bit more of a recognizable colour. Let's go for a pink bus. We never use pink, do we? Maybe more of a plum colour, actually. Yeah, let's go for a plum bus. Which isn't, I'm not saying plumbus from Rick and Morty, by the way. Realise how that sounded. Wonderful. I reckon we're in a good spot for a detailing time-lapse then. I want to fill this with low density residential for the most part around the grid. We'll get some commercial along the main road. And then we'll get some nice pathways and various different sort of landscape detailing around here. Create some more path entrances down, maybe a touch more parking around the key attraction assets as well. Blend them in as best as possible, and then we'll do some nice prop work and forest lining against the river pathway here, which hopefully we'll see some people utilize before the end of the episode. That would be absolutely beautiful, but we'll wait and see. Either way, let's do some detailing for Egginburgh's outer lying suburb, and then we'll be right back. Guys, let's have a little look over the North Bourbon suburb, shall we? The suburb has turned out really nicely, so we'll come down to our Riverside pathway that now meanders, of course, under the bridge, and then hooks in at multiple points in the suburb. Unfortunately, I haven't really seen anyone use it yet, but it is a little bit out of the way for them, so I can kind of understand why. But it is very nice, and then it comes up to the hill here where we've utilised that change in height and texture to bring in a little bit of custom part work. Some gazebos with a little bit of signage, maybe to explain exactly what it is you're looking at. Maybe you can see the port over here, the train yard and geothermal plant, etc. Looking over to various things, so little info signs explain it. I love these little signs here. A gazebo with a pathway, some benches, some bins, some tasteful pathwork. Occasional kiosk and food cart with some benching, just general things you expect to find in parks. And this whole green space really complements the suburb, I think. Looking out over the river. Right, just continue down this side where there are some more parks placed with a little bit of commercial as well. Looks like we got leafy greens. Is that like a greengrocer? It is indeed. It's selling some food over here, so we can pretend it's a cafe or something. And the beachless properties have actually settled in quite nicely. I do actually quite like them. It's just a shame they had such bad PR, wasn't it? You know, if they'd have just given this pack away for free right from the start, I think everyone would have been a little bit more receptive to it. But of course, it is free now for everyone anyway, so we did get there in the end. They are quite nice. I like them running up the hill here. It does really achieve that kind of low density sort of sprawl I would expect to see on the edge of an American sort of city centre like that. People walking around here as well, a bit more commercial, office space mixed into the suburb. And then across the forest boundary where I have our train line going through. We do just have that sprawl now, which is exactly what I wanted to achieve today, just to help fill out a little bit more of, especially Bourbon's frame over this way, just to help pack in that population. And then I am really happy with this here. Really nice view up to that city skyline, isn't it? With some more commercial and office zoned in around this part of the district as well on the main road. But our housing goes off down this way. Toward the start of the suburb, we just got lots of pathwork knocking about. I did some more intricate elevated path networks over here, which we just don't have many people visiting the new park area. I'm not sure whether those buildings have a bug at the minute or there's just not many Sims visiting the buildings, but it is very quiet regardless. But some nice pathwork factioning the different layers between the two tiers here, and staying on that covered pedestrian pathway it comes over, then looping down, and then it comes on some more commercial here as you do enter this bit of the town. I went ahead and dropped in nice hedge line in just to kind of demarcate the boundary of what is the botanical garden, essentially, before you do snake up there to the top of it. The bus is getting a little bit of use. There's people waiting here and also down on that main road stop as well, which is quite nice. We'll see if we can catch the bus in action while we are here. 42% of line usage with 168 passengers, so not the busiest in the world, but it is getting at least a little bit of use here. And then we do come up here where there's more parking. There's also a park maintenance depot down here as well. This side of the city doesn't have one of these. I think there's only really one over in Whiskey. So they have another park maintenance depot over here now. See some trucks returning from their shift, which is nice. There they go. And then across here, we have a really nice scape. Decided to paint in some more parking, which again is really quiet. It's just not a lot of people here. I thought these kind of unique attractions would have drawn in a lot more people. They are at 106% efficiency, whilst also giving plus 75 indoor recreation. So I guess they are just indoors, but it's a shame this plaza isn't a little busier, as I say that. the one person here, Brittany Pierce, is the B&M version of Britney Spears, and she has already had enough. She's like, nope, you know what? This isn't for me. She's going elsewhere. So hopefully with a patch, these buildings will actually become, busy and look like tourist attractions at least. Besides that, there's also another little plinth of pedestrian road here that has been upgraded with that quay wall, where we do have a diner with some expanded dining pallets that has a pathway leading back to the car park, alongside another little shop here as well. I did think this sign said pink and spanky, which really changes up what that shop might sell. But it doesn't. It does say sparkly, thankfully. So we don't have a dildo emporium up on the top here, thank God. And then that all spills back into the green belt that links back down, and we are left with a really nice park area and built up around a suburb looking out over North Bourbon and its appropriate networks, and I've had a ton of fun today. So thank you for watching. If you have made it this far, likes, comments and shares below always help the channel to grow, and if you're interested in getting a little bit more egg in your life, Instant Gaming and Patreon are the best ways to support the channel down below if you're interested in getting more out of the channel. I really am enjoying Egginburgh quite a lot more with these quality of life mods now. Just the ability to customize these little spaces like we have done with the cafes and the parking make the game significantly more enjoyable. There are obviously still bugs to work around, but honestly they're not kind of too game breaking, they're just a little bit annoying, but you can ignore the rent warnings. Of course that's all going to get fixed in Economy 2.0 anyway, which hopefully isn't too far away now. It can't be much longer, can it, until that hits? I think we will start a new CS2 build on Economy 2.0. And we'll see what happens with Egginburgh, because the city is getting quite large now and simulation speeds are slowing down. So we'll see. Anyway, but there's definitely a few builds left. I want to do a farm in the city. Let me know where you think we should put that, because I haven't quite decided yet. Either way, please do enjoy today's Egginburgh cinematics, but I'll shut up and leave it there. Let's thank you all so much for watching, and as always, enjoy the rest of your day.